And welcome back, everyone. There we go. Welcome back for another edition of Geek Night, number 8. So tonight we're actually going to be talking about two comics tonight. The first part and the second part. I did just get these back from being graded, probably about, what was it, last Saturday. So it was also perfect timing to finally get both of these back. I'd sent off. Um, Turnaround time usually for my comics we send off is usually about a month. So yeah, definitely was glad to get both these back. Um, so and as always, I am the host, Kill Jaden One. So everyone is ready to check out these new comics we finally got back. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the first one, which is issue 120 of the Uncanny X-Men. And then after that, we'll also be talking about issue 121 as well, the continuation and the ending of the two-part comic series on this one. So the first one we'll go and start with is issue 120. This one in general, I'm going to talk about the comic itself, and then we'll go into more details about it. In issue 120, the X-Men themselves come face to face with Alpha Squad, or Alpha Flight. I'm sorry, Alpha Flight Squad. Alpha Flight. First time they make their cameo appearance in this issue. The X-Men are just coming back from Japan after dealing with some issues over there. But as they're heading back, the Canadian government themselves actually want Wolverine back. He used to, complicated story in itself, but he used to work for the government over there. They want him back. So as they're flying back from Japan, they make it past to Canada where they are attacked. Plane goes down, and basically they're all knocked out, separated due to Alpha Flight, with the appearance of Sasquatch, was it Snowbird, Shaman, and Aurora. These were their first cameo appearances, with Vindicator appearing in a previous comic, but they all are trying to drag him back. And as Wolverine is finally collecting himself, he ends up getting ambushed by Sasquatch, which Sasquatch is in legitimately terms, he's a Sasquatch. He knocks Wolverine out, hauls him off, and that's the end of that comic. And then we roll into issue 121, which is the continuation of it right here. And actually, you can get a good look at Sasquatch right there, as you can see. Looks just like a Sasquatch. And this is Vindicator right here. So in this comic, this is actually the first full appearance of Alpha Flight. In this comic, the X-Men finally go full head-to-head with the Alpha Flight. They find Wolverine. They're all just basically knocking each other out. Cyclops actually KOs one guy, and is about ready to just beat the hell out of him. But Wolverine intervenes during mid-fight and just tells everyone to stop, because eventually people are going to start dying, and he didn't want either side to die because he felt kind of guilty for leaving the Canadian government in the first place. So what he does is he calls it off. He says, "Fine, I'll go with you. Let the rest of the X-Men go, and I'll leave with you peacefully." So what they do is they haul the X-Men back on a new jet, take them off. The X-Men are flying back with the Canadian government actually following them in jets till they finally make it back to U.S. soil or U.S. airspace. And actually, Cyclops actually says, "Hey, let's take a vote. Who wants to go back and basically kick their ass and get our team member back?" Unanimous vote. He starts walking it to the pilot who's flying and says, "Hey, we're flying back." And just before he says that, the pilot turns around, and guess who it is? Wolverine. Oh man, he's like, let's go home." And that's the end of it. So Wolverine escaped Alpha Flight after everything. After he let the X-Men go and peaced out. So now we're going to go ahead and just talk about the comics themselves in general. Now you kind of know the story, as well as actually just a little side view on this. If you ever watched the animated series of X-Men, Alpha Flight actually does make an appearance, and it loosely follows the storyline actually. With all of Alpha Flight fighting Wolverine. Not all. Was it all the X-Men? No, just Wolverine, not the X-Men. They all just fight Wolverine because they want him back. So the X-Men themselves don't fight Alpha Flight like in the comic, but still, it's a great, comic or a great episode to watch. So I digress. So we're going to go ahead and start issue 120 right here. In this issue, as I said, this is actually the first cameo appearance of Alpha Flight. So they make a quick little appearance, not full-on appearance, just a quick cameo. You learn their names, and you actually Sunfire and Mako both make an appearance. Those were from the previous issues of X-Men where they were in Japan dealing with an issue. And actually, in the start of it, actually, Wolverine tells Mako, his first name's actually Logan, so that's pretty cool. She actually told somebody his name. But it's a good story. Like I said, this one actually talks about you learn that you get a little more details about Wolverine's background, his history. Like I said, you learn that he was part of the Canadian government. So pretty well-rounded comic for itself. And like you see at the bottom here, it says Chaos in Canada. So it's pretty cool looking issue. This one that I sent off to get graded came back as a CBCS 6.5. I was hoping it was originally going to be an 8, but it actually came out to be a little lower than I thought. Still turned a profit on it. Value wise, this issue with it being a 6.5 came out to be about $100 if I sold it. This one I'd probably turn around to make a profit of like $30 if I sold it. So still came out ahead, not as much as I'd like to in a comic, but not bad. Like I said, if it was an 8, I'd came out a lot more. This is what the back of it has. These old school comics had little gimmick things, make money, get prizes, little cheesy stuff like that. When you were a kid, you always saw that. You're like, oh, I gotta get that. I want to get that. How do I gotta get it? And this one it was he sends up a little postcard off and some cheesy stuff. What was it? What some little prizes on this were a volleyball set, a nylon mountain kit, tent, some baseball gloves. Like I said, it was the old cheesy stuff, So that was a good issue. The other issue that we discussed as well, issue 121. This one you actually get a full view of most of the members of Alpha Flight. You have, like I said, you have Snowbird right there. A little closer because I know it's kind of hard to see. You have Snowbird. You have Vindicator right here. He's the leader of Alpha Flight. You got Sasquatch right there, who legitimately looks like a full-on Sasquatch. Let's see if it shows any other ones here on the cover. Okay, so it only shows 3 of the members of Alpha Flight on the cover. So I think you got Alpha Flight attacks. The X-Men battle to save Wolverine from Canada's fighting mad superheroes. So the Canadian government had their own superheroes, apparently, or their own mutants, I would say. This one came back as a 7.0 CBCS. Value-wise, $150. Profit-wise, was about $40. So I did turn a higher profit on this one than I did the previous issue, 120. So not little better value on that. This one, the only real defects on this one were actually I can tell you right now, because I know there were some slight creases. Let me pull it up here. So I'm going to scan the barcode on it. I can actually tell you. Zoom in. There we go. Reason this one came out to be a 7.0 and not an 8.5 like I was hoping. I'm sorry, I had to pull it on my phone here in just a second. There it is. It did have some spine stress right here, and it's kind of hard to see, I know, but there was some spine stress on the comic itself. The right edge cover corner, apparently there was a little stress right there as well. I guess there was like a slight bend on the comic, and then there was a long light crease left bottom back cover. Can't I mean, like, some of the stuff is kind of hard to see through the webcam, so that's why I can only really explain it by just messaging. And there was a minor crease top edge right back cover as well. I can see it. It's very, very minor, but it is there. So that's why they had to drop the grade on this comic from I forget it was a 7.0. If I probably got it pressed, which does cost a little more, it would probably increase the grade on it by probably a point and a half. But it costs more money. It does take longer when you do pressings. The turnaround time for CBCS when it comes to pressing is usually 2 months. I only know that because the comic shop I visit that I send my comics off to get graded, to get sent off for grading, sent off some comics same time that I sent a previous set and then this set, and it was a 2-month turnaround time because what they do is they send it off to one location. I think it's in Texas where they do the pressing of the comics themselves, and then after it's been pressed, they reseal it and send it off to their main office where CBCS is, to where they actually do the grading. So it's a 1 month this one, month this one, and then you finally get the comic book back. So that's why it's a 2-month turnaround time. I probably would do it probably at a later date for some comics. Right now I'm just trying to get the comics I want graded first, and then if I see there's a big jump in value, like cost wise, like if I set this one in, it said, okay, we'll give you, right now this one's worth $150. If in like 5 years it turns out, if I got it pressed, it increased the value by like an extra $150, I'd send it off and get pressed. But if it's only going to increase it by $20, it's not worth doing the press, because then you're just overpaying for the press. So you just kind of have to pick and choose which ones you want to get pressed. Like if I had what I probably am going to do is the first appearance of the Juggernaut. That one I'm considering getting sending off to get repressed, just because there is a giant jump in the value. So that one's right now valued at like $500. If I got it pressed, it would probably increase the value to like $700. So that would be definitely what I'm going to look at doing in the future. This issue, because I didn't talk about the back of it, has a. If you ever watched the old show, I don't know, you may not remember this, but they did a revision to it, Battlestar Galactica. You could win little. Here, be the first. You could win a Galactical shirts or Battlestar Galactica T-shirts, full color. Now this isn't the new one, of course. This is the old school Battlestar Galactica. So yeah, old TV show. So yeah, pretty good one. And this one, actually, let me go ahead and talk about this one too. Issue 120, the 6.5. This one, the issue with this was, I know this one actually had some issues, some bigger issues than the other one. I think there were some issues with the back of the cover, which caused it to be such a low grade. So this one, there was spine stress, of course, which broke color, understandable. I mean, I can see it myself a little bit. Then there was creases at the top right edge cover and the right front cover. So there were some creases. Cover breaks color. Yeah, there's some places I do see that on this one. The biggest issue though was there was light soiling and bends back cover. So the light soiling would be about right here. I know you can't see it, but right here there's some light soiling kind of like around this area over. Very, very light, but I noticed it when I purchased it, so I knew that was going to be a drop in color. And there is some light bending around this area. Generally, right here is where there's some light bending at. So this is the reason this one got this one. I thought originally was probably going to be an 8, got dropped down to a 6.5. If it hadn't been for the light soiling, this is just from old age, unfortunately. This is why it has light soiling. It was probably pushed up against another comic, and you haven't pressed against each other. It probably wasn't even in a case of any type. So being pushed up against another comic for so long, the color from the other comic kind of blended into the back of this one. So, reason this one has some discolorization on it. But again, like I said, it was still worth $100. Came out ahead still, so I'm pretty okay with that. With this one. So yeah, that's not too bad though. Let me see if there's any other. See if there's any other stuff here. No, those are really about the big key points in both these issues that I sent off to get graded. I've actually got 3 more comics I just sent off to get graded as well, key issues. Issue 141, which is the first, it's a 2-part series also. That would be the first part of Days of Future Past. I sent that one off to get graded. I'm expecting that one to be about a 7 when it gets back. I sent off an issue with that was part of the Dark Phoenix saga. I sent that off to get graded. I can't remember what issue it was. I know it was like in the teens. And then I sent off another one. I believe it was an X one. I can't think right now, like top of my head. So anyway, I sent those 3 comics off to get graded. Those should be back in about 3 weeks because I sent them off last week. So I'm expecting those back in about 3 weeks. At which time, that'll be cool to finally get those back. So as always, if you did enjoy the stream, you're more than welcome to follow me on my Facebook page. I do post updates about comics I got back, ones I'm sent off, just kind of updates on different things going on, especially with my stream and everything. I also sent off, I've also got a Discord you can follow me on so you know when I'm streaming. More than welcome to come in there, go some chats. If you have any information about comic books themselves, if you have any questions about that, maybe you have some old comic books you want to know if they're worth anything, or grading purpose wise, so you're kind of curious about that, you're more than welcome to ask me those questions. I will explain. I will even give you some details. You can send me pictures and I'll look them over for you to kind of maybe give you an idea of what they're worth. I myself am always looking to buy new comics too, so don't think wouldn't be interested in buying some. You can also follow me on my YouTube channel where I do post all my previous episodes I've done on my Geek Night. Like I said, this is number 8 for the night, so you definitely check that. You definitely check out my previous ones and all the comics I've been talking about so far. You can also follow me on my Twitch, see what I'm streaming. I do like to stream my Pull Up Builders League night. I do that every Monday night. I like to stream that. So you can check out my team as we play. You can also check out my game. I like to play a lot of Rainbow Six Siege along with some other little minor games. So don't ever be afraid to hop in, say hi, see what's going on. So I hope everyone enjoyed the stream tonight. Have a great night. I will be streaming some Siege later, and I will see y'all next time. Y'all have a good one.